The small woman builds cages for everyone she knows, while the sage, who has to duck her head when the moon is low, keeps dropping keys all night long for the beautiful, rowdy prisoners. A poem by Hafez to drop us into this new moon energy of Aquarius. She is the visionary inside of you. She is the one who drops keys to the rowdy prisoners, the one who sees outside of the box, the one who steps back and takes the 10,000 foot view, looks down and is like, why are they doing it like that? Thus, new ideas can be born. Known as the most unemotional of signs, Aquarius is ruled by the air element, the mental body. It takes some distance from the people in order to see what the people are doing. We need to step outside of culture, of civilization, to see what makes sense and what is just bullshit. This is the work of the visionary. She who can look objectively without being in the middle of it all and in the flux and the flow of the emotional body, the water body, and in this physical body, this earth body, and just so immersed and enmeshed in our day-to-day life. Because really, most of us are just trying to get through, right? And yet, Aquarius inside of you, the visionary inside of you, she reminds us. She is reminding you that you were born with a vision. That you were born to be the bearer of a vision. That whether you know it or not, and whether you acknowledge it or not, you are part of manifesting a vision for this world, and that your life, this creation of your life, is your vision made manifest. Whether or not you are in self-reflective capacity to consciously choose that vision. So Aquarius invites you to take a step outside of your emotions, to take a step outside of this 3D world, and to invest in the technology of your mental body, the technology of your capacity to discern what is working and what is not working, not from a place of your own prejudices, but from a place of the bird flying high up overhead. Now, sure, some visionaries create companies and lead movements and win awards and liberate entire groups of people. But all of us are part of Gaia's vision. And each of us have been implanted with one piece of that vision. However, it does take space to receive a vision. The traditional indigenous practice of vision quest, or crying for a vision, would be to take time, to take initiatory time outside of the tribe, to be out in nature. Jesus did it with his 40 days, 40 nights. We take time away in order to find what is true, what is real, what is desiring to come through me, what is desiring to move through me, versus the noise of the media and the noise of your kids and your parents and your partners' opinions and ideas and traumas and intentions and their visions too. What is desiring to be born through you? Now, I received a book as a young girl. I probably was 6 or 7, and I received this amazing book called Women Who Dare. And it was like maybe 40 to 60 cards, each with the face of a woman on one side, and then what she did as visionary. And as I was preparing for this talk, I asked myself, who are feminine visionaries from history? And I was literally like, I don't know. And then I was like, who are male visionaries from history? And I was like, well, I can list 10 off the top of my head in the first 5 seconds, because these are the names that we know from history. And it's 2020, like 5, 6, like it's amazing that to this day, feminine visionaries aren't as celebrated or acknowledged as masculine visionaries. However, let's acknowledge the feminine visionary is different than the masculine visionary, because women have a built-in vision quest every moon. In terms of the moon cycle, the new moon time is the dark moon time into the new moon time is the vision quest time. It is the time of the darkness and the shadow, when really the whole world gets shrouded in silence, stillness, spaciousness. If we acknowledge that, right? If we acknowledge if we are in tune with nature and we listen to nature and we emulate nature, then the new dark moon and new moon time is the time of the vision fast. It is the time of turning in. Traditionally, we would all bleed together on the new moon. We would all go into the cave together as oracles to bleed on the new moon. And built into your body is the vision quest. Built into your body, whether you bleed or not, still, if you are a woman, your hormones operate on that 28-day-ish schedule, and built into your body is a monthly plant medicine ceremony. Built into your body is a monthly transcendent psychedelic experience, replete with the chemicals and all, except they are natural. Natural parts of our brain, natural parts of our nervous system, natural parts of our womb cave. This is what it is to be a woman. This is when we get down to the bare bones essence of what is it to be a woman outside of what culture says, what ideas we got from our mother, what it was 10,000 years ago, or what it was 2,000 years ago, what it was in the 70s. Like, what is it to be a woman actually? So this is a visionary question, actually. It's like, let's get outside of cultural ideas and let's actually find like what's true. And what's true is that we are cyclical beings, and we are awakening at this moment in history to, as part of Gaia's dream of remembering her own cyclical nature, that of the humans remembering our own cyclical nature. So I say all of this to say feminine visionaries receive differently than masculine visionaries receive. Remember back to the tantric energy flow of the feminine body. We offer through our heart, we offer through our breasts, we nourish life through our breasts, we receive through our yoni, we receive through the cave of our uterus, we receive through our wombs, we receive, and then we multiply, and then we give back. We multiply the benefit and we give back as life. This is the bare bones basic biological structure of what it is to be a woman. Very different from the opposite flow of what it is to be a man. So I say all of this to say that the womb cocoon, the monthly turning inward, taking space, whether you bleed or not, taking space at the new moon if you do not bleed, or taking space during your blood cycle if you bleed. This is what it is to be a feminine visionary. This is what it is to clear and cleanse our minds of what we are supposed to be, as gifted to us through our families, as gifted to us through books and media, and instead to discover, who are we really? What is it to be a woman really? And what vision are you here to live? What vision are you part of? Because again, whether or not we choose, to consciously enact and live a vision, we are living into a vision. Every single choice you make is contributing to a world. Every single choice you make, whether it's something you buy, whether it's a word you say to your children, whether it's the choice to listen to this now, whether it's a choice to sit in circle with other women, whether it is a choice to work another hour after sun goes down, whether it is a choice to take a vacation, whatever it is, you are contributing to a vision for the future. So Aquarius new moon asks us to become conscious in that vision. What vision are you choosing? What world do you desire? What world are you contributing to? What are your choices and your passions and your actions made manifest? What world does that create? What is the end game that you are playing with your small actions? This is the gift of the visionary. Aquarius rules technology and reminds us that it is the first and original technology. The first and original technology is the technology of meditation, the technology of the breath, the technology of ritual. First and foremost, when human civilizations were developing, when human consciousness was developing, we first began to understand things on a symbolic level. And that gave us the power of story. And that gave us the power of story made manifest, or vision made manifest, to actually choose the world that we are creating. This original technology of consciousness, becoming aware of itself. So conscious breath, taking a moment instead of snapping into a response, to take a conscious breath. And then from there, to choose what world we're living into, what world we're creating, what story we're contributing to, by choosing our action. That is the power of the original technology, of ritual, of meditation, of conscious breathing. And the truth is, no one has the power to choose that for you, visionary, except yourself. No one grants us the time and the space for a vision fast. No one grants us the time and the space for a womb cocoon. No one grants us the time and the space for a vacation. No one grants us the time and the space to cut back on work in winter. No one grants us the time and the space to dim the lights down low and turn on those candles after dark, except ourselves. And this is how the feminine is changing the world right now. As we remember what it is, the essential juice of what it is to be woman, what it is to live in a cyclical way, to acknowledge the power of the new moon, to acknowledge the power of the fullness of ovulation, the power of the seasons. This is something only you can grant for yourself. And the visionary is here to remind you that if you want to live a conscious life, if you want to be a visionary, whether you want to be a visionary running a business, a visionary founding an organization, or you want to be just a woman in this world with your children, with your child, you want to be a good partner, you want to be just quiet in the middle of the woods with your garden, whatever it is, you are creating and manifesting a vision. So a vision fast, whether that is honestly one conscious breath, right? Before we move into the knee-jerk reaction, the old pattern that's probably from our family 10 generations ago, from a wound that started then, right? Or we want to take a breath to choose how we're going to healthfully respond to a conflict with our partner or our children, or news that wants to spin us out, right? Or if it's the vision fast of taking just an hour during your bleed or an hour during the new moon to journal and take a bath with a candle, or whether it's going out on vision fast to once a year into the desert on your own, as I am so grateful to do. And if any of you want to know more about doing that, please connect with me, because I truly believe in it as a practice for anyone who's really embodying the energy of the visionary. We do need to get away from the hustle and bustle. And Aquarius is all about this, because Aquarius, it's sometimes the saying is Aquarius loves humanity but doesn't like people. So it's like, Aquarius isn't always like the most friendly, like cuddly kind of sign, but it is this deep service and devotion to the wholeness. Everything is done in service to that 1,000-year vision, that 10,000-year vision. And there is the energy of innovation here, ruled by Uranus, the god of lightning, ruled by, we can say, the African goddess Oya, the goddess of lightning, she who strikes and just changes everything. This energy of Uranus that is the energy of innovation, the energy of experimentation, the energy of doing things differently, doing things new. How can you draw in that medicine from Aquarius this month? What is it that needs a burst of lightning? What is it in your life that needs a new perspective, looking at it from a different way? And what parts of you aren't living into, with your personal choices, living into the vision you desire for this planet? And just to wrap back to the beginning of, we are part of Gaia's vision. We are just little pieces on her body, and we are just little pieces of her manifestation of her own vision. And so taking space, whether it's a breath or a vision fast or a womb cocoon, taking this moment to receive through our wounds, right? We receive through our wounds in order to birth. Taking that space to really feel into the vision you were born with. That there is a vision inside of you. You don't have to be like some, genius, big picture thinker leading an organization in order to know what world you desire to live in. And in order to be creating that world through your very simple actions. And what are potential pitfalls for the feminine visionary? Of course, the inner critic. The inner critic pulls us away from our vision back towards conformity. This is not the medicine of Aquarius. Conformity is the opposite of Aquarius medicine. And while it is natural human instinct to want to be part of our tribe and to not want to be cast out of our tribe, the only way to make positive change and to get back into alignment with truth is to stand in that truth and to be in that truth. So we look towards this part of us, inside and outside, which is the reality police. That part of ourselves that would rather die than change. The parts of culture that are reactionary to new ideas. In fact, this whole idea of the womb cocoon, right, is still, I'm speaking it because to me and my community and, the women that I circle with and who are feminine visionary leaders, like, this is like, duh, like, the womb cocoon is the most natural thing ever. It is the most healthy thing for any society. It is literally the thing that will change the world when women start taking womb cocoon to come back into alignment with their vision and with the vision of Gaia and with their health and their well-being and their rest, their need for rest, and the psychedelic or oracular capacity that moves through on a biological, chemical, hormonal level during the bleed and the new moon. Like, it's so obvious, to me. And yet to mainstream culture, that's really fucking crazy. That's like, what are you even talking about? Those pieces of culture that resist change, that will make a positive, benefit on the whole. This is the reality police. So we ask, where's the reality police inside of you? Where are those parts of you that are afraid to live your vision, afraid to live your truth? If you've even received it, where are those parts of you that are afraid to take time and space to rest and sit and listen in womb cocoon, to take a vacation, to take a breath before your reactionary response? And this is within all of us. We look at this with compassion, this reality police inside of us, and we use the medicine of Aquarius to remind us that conformity is the enemy of vision. And to remember that the first person to dance at the party sets everyone free, tosses keys to the rowdy prisoners in allowing everyone to express who they are. Part of Aquarius medicine is the medicine of authenticity. It's like, I'm going to be real and raw because this is what's true. It's so simple, right? And yet it takes that air element, that mental body, to just be like, less emotionally concerned about our own little thing, less immersed in the collective energy, and more just like, oh, well, yeah, I'm telling you, like, personally, the womb cocoon will save this world. So I don't care who thinks I'm crazy when I say that, because I know it's true, right? And so to close up Aquarius medicine, we want to remember that Aquarius is ruled not only by Uranus, which was discovered in 1781, the year of the American Revolution, which was in history, an extreme experiment in freedom. So this is the energy of Uranus is like, it was discovered right as the United States was gaining sovereignty from Great Britain. So the energy of the wildness, but before 1781, Aquarius was ruled by Saturn, the planet of boundaries, the planet of, boop, 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 like get it done and hold tradition, right? So they seem like very opposite energies. And yet Aquarius reminds us that in order to serve the collective, the long-term big picture vision, we have to be willing to anchor into and trust our vision, and to, like the sea goat, like the goat who climbs the mountain, to be consistent with it, to be disciplined with our vision, while also being that wild person, that wild energy, that wild woman who is willing to toss out things that don't work and try things and I don't know, let's just play. So my teacher, Caroline Casey, calls Aquarius energy the disciplined wild person. So the disciplined wild woman, if we want to live in a world that is harmonious and peaceful, live in a world without excess war, live in a world with beautiful food growing in every neighborhood, live in a world where buildings are produced in a way that is in harmony with our environment. If we want to live in a world where children are safe, if we want to live in a world with less interpersonal conflict, less addiction, then not only do we need to take space to receive our vision, but we also have that Saturn, boop, 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 Capricorn, kind of like, well, I was given a vision. To be given a vision is a responsibility. And if you're a conscious woman on the path, which you are, because you're listening to this, then you know that you have been gifted with this intelligence, beauty, passion, skillfulness, whatever medicine you are carrying, you have been given this as a gift. And with that gift, there is a heaviness of responsibility. And so we've got to show up to our vision. We've got to be accountable to our vision. And that doesn't just mean doing things out in the world, right? The feminine knows that all doing emanates from being. So our vision isn't just asking us to do something. What our vision is really asking of us, our vision is asking us to be something. Our vision is asking us to be what is true to us. Our vision is asking us to align to our center, to align to our truth, to align our chakras, to align our inside and our outside, which means integrity, right? Our vision is asking us to be in integrity with it. That means our actions and our choices emanate from the world we desire to create. This is what the feminine visionary does. And this is perhaps one of the reasons why it's hard to name feminine visionaries throughout history, because every male visionary throughout history had a mother. And that's what made it possible for that visionary to do whatever it was that led to the next thing, right? The feminine is always the container, the essence, the energetic foundation from which everything is created. The feminine visionary is our being, is our medicine above and beyond any doing. So on this new moon in Aquarius, beautiful visionary woman, please do carve out sacred space for your own vision fast, whether that is a simple bath with a candle lit, whether that is your morning practice seated at your altar, whether that is a walk out in nature, whether that is your own bleed. This is always the call. The new moon is always the call to turn back in and to take inventory, to ask ourselves, what type of world are we living into? What type of world are we creating? What type of world do we desire above, beyond, and outside of what we see in front of us? Releasing just what we see in front of us and opening space for what it is we truly desire and what we are here to do. I know that you are here to birth profound vision of peace for this planet, and that every step you take towards that frees you and frees your people. And this is what it is to be a woman on the path. And I am so grateful to be walking this path with you. This is the era of the visionary woman. And we are here to receive and live our vision in harmony with Gaia. I really like that card with the mountains and the owls and the trees and the snake in the hands. It's so cool. And all of that is a seed for the future. All of that is a seed in our womb that is of service to the future of this world. Blessings and happy new moon, Aquarius visionary.